Well, this Black History Month, Colorado is expanding Black history studies in public schools statewide. A newly passed law requires K-12 schools to incorporate Black history and cultural studies into the curriculum by 2028. One of the leading voices behind the legislation is State Rep. Dr. Regina English. She championed the bill and continues to advocate for Black student voices in equitable education. Dr. English is also the mother of one of our colleagues, an editor here at our station.